Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of The Walking Dead. Sorry I haven't uploaded in like a week. I was going to record a pack opening for you guys, but I thought rather than doing pack opening, I want to do a video that I feel is more needed. And I want to talk about values on obviously the Walking Dead app. A lot of people don't seem to know the value of cards. And it's so frustrating. For example, someone will send for this. Um, Portrait, and they'll send a portrait normal that I've got 11 of or whatever, 20 of or whatever I've got. The way I see it, portraits are the most useless cards now in the game, just because obviously there's such a high count, most of them, and they're just obviously the set's over now. Like these as well, but ones like these are obviously still hold a bit of value just because of the low CC. Um, 750 card count. Obviously, this one I think is like 100. Yeah, that's 100. Obviously, it's not updating. So they are still worth something, and I want to say that portraits are not worthless completely. They like this one, for example, the red ones are still hold a lot of value. But the main reason why portraits aren't useless now is because they help get your collection score up. That's what most people are doing, hoarding portraits so they get collection score up. I mean, I've got a load, and now I'm on like 88 point something 72. Brothers, people seem to think these are going to be the new rare cards, because obviously they've got a 10cc. Yes, just the 1,000 cards aren't as much desirable as the 10 card count ones, but obviously you have to buy coins to access them. So really, I wouldn't even try go for them, just because unless you're willing to spend money. Um, Same for these ones. These are just the same as the portrait. Obviously, not worth not much. The two rarest card on the game at the minute is Rick Chop and Glen Vintage. People seem to think, oh, because they've got a 10 card count, it's more rare. It is in card count, but the set's over. So I'm trying to explain this to people. Like someone offered me on all my vintages, that's why I locked him up. A 10 card count brother, and you probably think that's a steal just because obviously the lowness of the card, but the set is sold out, so it's just a worthless card to have. If it's just people seem to think the lower the card count, the more valuable the card even. Um, so the main cards you really want is vintages and chops, just because I personally think that the vintages and chops will never lose value, especially the vintages. Like on Star Wars, they never lose value. Syndicates will never lose value. Obviously, Glen Chop is on one of the hardest, if not the. Obviously, I would say Rick Chop's a bit higher, to get on the game, and you've got no chance trading for that card unless you're willing to overpay. I think I sold my dupe for a Syndicate, um, Tyrese, and this vintage. I think I could have got a bit more, but I was happy with the trade just because I needed all of that. It's the same with the shadow portraits. These are basically the grey portraits when they run out, when they end. The rush, it's the same really, obviously, because it is a low card count, but people seem to, you know, forget that the set's expired. So that obviously drops the value a lot. I've got two trades at the minute, so I'll go check what is going on. Obviously, people who send one-to-ones with a comment for your 9 best cards really does my head in. I don't know about you guys. It seems on The Walking Dead just lately, you post once, and you get a load of trades, obviously, because there's not many people on the app. Um, and yeah, people have been rating people 1 stars even though they've sent the trade and they get accepted just to lower someone's stars. That's a pointless thing to do. So basically, you want to look for the Rick Chop and the Glam Vintage over anything at the minute. Unless you're not going for the set, then I wouldn't bother. I would suggest going for, say, the red portraits maybe, or the syndicates, or awards will always obviously hold value. Also, people seem to think that oranges, because of the low card counts, hold a lot of value. Obviously, they hold some value, but I wouldn't say they hold a lot just because it's base. Obviously, when people ask cross trade, they say to me, "Do you want blacks?" I'm like, "Not really," because obviously, greens will greens are like super rares on kick. Um, Obviously, at the MLS start of the season on kick, obviously, um, the MLS Gold was such a low card count, but as soon as they release those mediocre packs, obviously they got more and more, and I have a feeling they'll do the same here, and then greens will become common. You know, 1,000 counts, and then obviously blacks will be easy to get, and then when blacks are easy to get, then it'll go to purple. So I would say the greens, the blacks and purples are only worth something now, so I would not trade your inserts for them. Obviously teal are worthless because I didn't even know how I've got all these, but they're worthless. Obviously yellows, people seem to think they're worth a lot because of their low card count, but they're just not. They're just, no one wants yellow cards anymore. Don't know why. No one just wants them. They're just pointless to have. So yeah. Oh, steel. um. No, he sent me those for free anyway. I'm not one of those people who try to steal off newbies. That is also a new thing what's going on. Everyone's trying to rip off people. You know, we want to try and get this Walking Dead community a lot better than the shitty kit community. You got people pretending there's someone else. You got just people calling each other names and stuff for no reason. It's a joke, honestly. The Kick app is such a joke right now. I honestly don't understand why people are still there. So yeah, obviously values is a big part of trading. So if you do need any help with values, obviously I'll be able to help on Twitter. So make sure you just drop me a DM before you're unsure to send a trade, and I'll try my best to help you. So this video's kind of gone on for a bit. Sorry I didn't bring you a pack opening. I recorded this actually, but the recording like lost, so that happened. I only pulled one Fallon, so it's not nothing crazy. And yeah, I will try bring another episode a bit later today. I'll ask on Twitter what you guys want to see, and I'll try get it done. If not, I'll upload in another week or so. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye.